How are you guys doing? Today is Sunday, December 12th, 2021. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances that took place yesterday on Saturday, December 11th, taking a quick step back and looking at where we are in the calendar year. With the baseball season being over, we are towards the end of the football seasons, as looking at college, there are only bowl games left to play, and of course, playoff games with that. In the NFL, there's about a month left in its regular season. Taking a look at what's going on with basketball, college basketball and pro basketball are about 1 month into the season each. And then taking a look at what's going on with soccer internationally, because we approach the end of the 2021 calendar year. We are approaching the midway point of the 2021-22 year, as we just got through, we are in the middle of a good weekend of soccer. With that said, I'm going to jump right into what's going on with collegiate basketball here in the States. Starting with the fourth-ranked basketball team in the nation, the UCLA Bruins faced off against the unranked Marquette Golden Eagles in Milwaukee, and UCLA would end up beating Marquette 67-56, winning this matchup by 11 after they outscored Marquette by 14 in the first half. The UCLA Bruins were led in scoring by their starting guard, their junior Jaime Jaquez Jr. out of Camarillo. Jaquez would go on to finish with 24 points and 11 rebounds in 34 minutes. Jaquez shot 7 for 16 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. And with this win, the fourth-ranked UCLA Bruins are 8-1 to start their season. With this loss, the unranked Marquette Golden Eagles are now 8-3. Looking at the eighth-ranked team in the nation, the Kansas Jayhawks hosted the unranked Missouri Tigers. Kansas would end up beating Missouri 102-65. They won this matchup by 37 after they outscored Mizzou by 22 in the first half and by 15 in the second. On the winning end of this matchup, the eighth-ranked Jayhawks were led in scoring by their starting guard, Ochai Ogbaji, their senior out of Kansas City. Ogbaji would finish with 21 points in 30 minutes as he shot 7 for 12 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3, and he made 2 of his 4 free throw attempts on the night. With this win, the 8th-ranked Kansas Jayhawks are 8-1 on the season. With this loss, the unranked Missouri Tigers are 5-5. Looking at the 9th-ranked team in the nation, the Alabama Crimson Tide hosted the 14th-ranked Houston Cougars. Alabama would end up beating Houston 83-82 after they outscored Houston by 3 in the first half. On the losing end of this matchup, the 14th-ranked Houston Cougars were led in scoring by their starting guard, Marcus Sasser. Marcus Sasser would finish this matchup with 25 points and 5 rebounds in 39 minutes. Sasser shot 8 for 25 from the field, 4 for 14 from 3, and he would shoot a perfect 5 for 5 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Alabama Crimson Tide were led in scoring by their starting forward, Jawan Gary. Their sophomore out of South Carolina would go on to finish with 19 points in 29 minutes. He shot 6 for 13 from the field, and he would go on to make 6 of his 9 free throw attempts on the day. With this win, the 9th-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide are 8-1. With this loss, the 14th-ranked Houston Cougars are now 8-2. Looking at the 10th-ranked team in the nation, the Kentucky Wildcats win to Notre Dame to face off against the unranked Fighting Irish. Notre Dame would end up beating 10th-ranked Kentucky 66-22, winning this matchup by 4 after they outscored Kentucky by 6 in the second half to overcome their 2-point deficit. On the losing end of this matchup, the 10th-ranked Wildcats were led in scoring by their starting forward out of the Congo, Oscar Shibuye. He finished with 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks in 37 minutes. Shibuye shot 11 for 14 from the field and 3 for 4 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the unranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish were led in scoring by their starting guards. On one end, their freshman out of South Bend, Blake Wesley, would finish with 14 points, all in 30 minutes, as he shot 6 for 12 from the field and 2 for 5 from 3. Their other starting guard, Dane Goodwin, their junior out of Ohio, would go on to finish with 14 points, as well as 5 rebounds in 31 minutes. He would go on, or 33 minutes. He shot 5 for 9 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, and he shot 3 for 4 from the foul line. With this win, the unranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish are 4-4 as they remain undefeated at home. With this loss, the 10th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats are 7-2. Looking at the 11th-ranked basketball team in the nation, the Arizona Wildcats faced off against the unranked Illinois Fighting Illini. Arizona would end up beating Illinois 83-79, winning this matchup by 4 after they outscored Illinois Illinois by 8 in the second half. On the winning end of this matchup, the Arizona Wildcats were led in scoring by Benedict Maturin, their sophomore out of Montreal. He would go on to finish with 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 turnovers in 39 minutes. He shot 10 for 17 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3, and 5 for 6 from the foul line. With this win, the 11th ranked Arizona Wildcats are 9-0 to start their season, and with this loss, the unranked Illinois Fighting Illini are 7-3. Looking at the 12th ranked team in the nation, the Arkansas Razorbacks faced off against the unranked Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma would go on to beat Arkansas in this upset as they Oklahoma won this game 88-66, winning this game by 22 after they outscored Arkansas by 6 in the first half and by 16 in the second. On the losing end of this matchup in their first loss of the season, the 12th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks were led in scoring by their starting guard Devontae Davis. Davis finished with 26 points and 5 rebounds in 39 minutes. He shot 9 for 21 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. On the winning end of this matchup, the unranked Sooners were led in scoring by their starting guard Elijah Harkless, their senior out of San Bernardino, California. Harkless finished with 21 points and 11 rebounds in 27 minutes. He shot 6 for 21 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and 7 for 8 from the foul line. With this win, the unranked Oklahoma Sooners are 8-2. With this loss, the 12th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks are now 9-1 to start their season. Taking a look at what's going on with the 13th ranked team in the nation, the Tennessee Volunteers hosted the unranked UNC Greensboro Spartans. Tennessee ended up beating Greensboro 76-36, picked up a 40-point win after they outscored Greensboro by 18 in the first half and by 22 in the second half, as their deficit was actually higher than Greensboro's scores in both halves. On the winning end of this matchup, the 13th ranked Volunteers were led in scoring by their starting guard, Josiah Jordan James. Their junior out of Charleston, South Carolina, would finish with 12 points in 23 minutes as he shot 4 for 7 from the field, all of his field goals coming from 3. And then, of course, off the bench for Tennessee, their freshman forward, Brandon Huntley Hatfield, would finish with 12 points as well, tying for the team high. He did all this in 16 minutes as he shot 6 for 10 from the field. With this win, the 13th ranked Tennessee Volunteers are now 7-2. With this loss, unranked UNC Greensboro is 7-3 to start their season. Taking a look at the 15th ranked basketball team in the nation, the UConn Huskies hosted the unranked St. Bonaventure Bonnies. UConn would end up beating St. Bonnie's 74-64, winning it by 10 after they outscored St. Bonnie's by 9 in the second half. The 15th ranked UConn Huskies were led in scoring by their starting guard, R.J. Cole out of New Jersey. Cole will go on to finish with 15 points and 5 rebounds in 34 minutes. He went on to shoot 5 for 15 from the field and 4 for 6 from the foul line. With this win, the 15th ranked UConn Huskies are 9-2. With this loss, the unranked St. Bonaventure Bonnies are 8-2 at this point in the season. Taking a look now at what's going on with the 18th ranked team in the nation, the Auburn Tigers hosted the unranked Nebraska Cornhuskers, as this would be at the Holiday Hoops Giving Fest. Auburn would end up beating Nebraska 99-68 as they outscored Nebraska by 17 in the first half and by 14 in the second and win this game by 31. On the winning end of this matchup, the 18th ranked Tigers were led in scoring by their starting forward, Jabari Smith. Jabari Smith, their freshman out of Atlanta, would go on to finish with 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals in 23 minutes. Smith shot 7 for 13 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. With this win, the 18th ranked Auburn Tigers are 8-1. With this loss, the unranked Nebraska Cornhuskers are 5-6. Looking at the 19th ranked team in the nation, the Michigan State Spartans hosted the unranked Penn State Nittany Lions. Michigan State would end up beating Penn State 80-64. They won this game by 16 after they outscored Penn State by 13 in the first half. On the winning end of this matchup, the Spartans were led in scoring by their starting forward, Gabe Brown. Their senior out of Michigan would go on to finish with 15 points and 5 rebounds in 29 minutes. He shot 5 for 12 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3, and he made one of his 2 free throw attempts on the day. With this win, the 19th ranked Michigan State Spartans are 9-2 as they are 2-0 in the Big Ten. With this loss, the unranked Penn State Nittany Lions are now 5-5 as they are now 0-2 in the Big Ten. Looking at the 21st ranked basketball team in the nation, the Ohio State Buckeyes hosted the 22nd ranked Wisconsin Badgers. Ohio State would end up beating Wisconsin 73-55, winning this matchup by 18 after they outscored Wisconsin by 5 in the first half and by 13 in the second. On the losing end of this matchup, the 22nd ranked Wisconsin Badgers were led in scoring by their starting guard, Johnny Davis, their sophomore out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. Johnny Davis finished with 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals in 38 minutes. He shot 11 for 22 from the field. On the winning end of this matchup, the Ohio State Buckeyes were led in scoring by their starting forward, E.J. Liddell. He finished with 28 points and 9 rebounds, as well as 2 blocks in 31 minutes. Liddell shot 11 for 16 from the field and 5 for 7 from the foul line. With this win, the 21st ranked Ohio State Buckeyes are now 8-2 as they are now 2-0 in the Big Ten. With this loss, the 22nd ranked Wisconsin Badgers are now 8-2 as they are now 1-1 in the Big Ten as everything stands. Looking at the 24th ranked team in the nation, the BYU Cougars went to Creighton in Nebraska to face off against the Blue Jays. Unranked Creighton would end up beating the 24th ranked Cougars 83-71. After Creighton outscored BYU by 18 in the first half, they went on to win this by 12. On the losing end of this matchup, the 24th ranked BYU Cougars were led in scoring by their starting guard out of Arizona, Alex Barcelo. Barcelo finished with 28 points in 33 minutes as he shot 11 for 20 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3, and he made his only free throw attempt on the night. On the winning end of this matchup, the unranked Creighton Blue Jays were led in scoring by their starting forward, Ryan Hawkins. Their senior out of Iowa would go on to finish with 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks in 36 minutes. He shot 10 for 18 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, and he made one of his 2 free throw attempts. With this win, the unranked Creighton Blue Jays are 8-2 on the year, and with this loss, the 24th ranked BYU Cougars are now 8-2 as well. Last but not least, taking a look at what's going on with the 25th ranked team in the nation, the LSU Tigers faced off against the unranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets at the Holiday Hoops Giving Fest. LSU would end up beating Georgia Tech 69-53 to remain undefeated. They won this game by 16 after they outscored Georgia Tech by 20 in the second half to overcome their 4-point deficit. On the winning end of this matchup, the 25th ranked LSU Tigers were led in scoring by their forward off the bench, Tari Eason, their sophomore out of Los Angeles. Eason would go on to finish with 23 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in 27 minutes. He shot 9 for 13 from the field and 5 for 7 from the foul line. With this win, the 25th ranked LSU Tigers are 9-0 on the season, and with this loss, the unranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are now 5-4 as the season stands. Taking a look now at what's going on with the NBA, starting off in the Staples Center, the Los Angeles Clippers hosted the Orlando Magic. The Clippers would end up beating the Magic 106-104, winning this matchup by 2 after they outscored the Magic by 12 in the second quarter. On the losing end of this matchup, the Orlando Magic were led in scoring by their starting point guard out of UNC, Cole Anthony. Anthony finished with 23 points, 6 rebounds, in 34 minutes as he shot 7 for 16 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line. Off the bench, the Magic starting shooting guard Terrence Ross finished with 22 points in 26 minutes. He shot 4 for 11 from the field, and he shot a perfect 13 for 13 from the foul line. Their starting small forward Franz Wagner finished with 20 points in 34 minutes. He shot 8 for 10 from the field, a perfect 2 for 2 from 3, and he shot 2 for 3 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Los Angeles Clippers were led in scoring by their starting point guard, Reggie Jackson. Jackson finished with 25 points in 32 minutes as he shot 11 for 21 from the field and 3 for 8 from 3. Their starting shooting guard out of Duke, Luke Kennard, finished with 23 points and 5 assists in 36 minutes. He went on to shoot 8 for 16 from the field and 7 for 11 from 3. With this win, the hometown LA Clippers are now 15-12. With this loss, the Orlando Magic are now 5-22. Taking a look at what went down in our nation's capital, the Washington Wizards hosted the Utah Jazz. The Jazz would end up beating the Wizards 123-98. They won this game by 25 after they outscored the Wizards by 13 in the third quarter and by 13 in the fourth by a combined 26 points in the second half to overcome their 1-point deficit. On the losing end of this matchup, the Washington Wizards were led in scoring by their elite starting shooting guard out of Florida, Bradley Beal. Beal finished with 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, assists, and 6 turnovers in 34 minutes. Beal shot 9 for 19 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Utah Jazz were led in scoring by their elite starting shooting guard out of Louisville, Donovan Mitchell. He finished with 28 points, 4 assists, and 2 steals in 32 minutes as he shot 10 for 20 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line. Their elite starting center out of France, Rudy Gobert, finished with 20 points and 11 rebounds in 28 minutes. He shot 9 for 10 from the field and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. With this win, the Utah Jazz are now 19-7. With this loss, the Washington Wizards are now 15-12 at this point in the season. Taking a look now, what's going on in Cleveland. The Cavaliers hosted the Sacramento Kings. The Cavaliers would end up beating the Sacramento Kings 117-103. They won this game by 14 after they outscored the Kings by 13 in the first quarter and by 16 in the second by a combined 29 points in the first half. On the losing end of this matchup, the Sacramento Kings were led in scoring by their shooting guard off the bench, Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield finished with 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in 28 minutes. Hield shot 7 for 13 from the field, 4 for 10 from 3, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Cleveland Cavaliers were led in scoring by their rookie starting small forward, Isaac Okoro. Okoro finished with 20 points and 2 steals in 30 minutes as he shot 7 for 9 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line. Sorry, he's not a rookie anymore, but he's still incredibly young. But of course, following this win, the Cleveland Cavaliers are now officially 16-12. And of course, with this loss, the Sacramento Kings are now 11-6 at this point. Taking a look at what is going down in Miami, the Miami Heat hosted the Chicago Bulls. The Miami Heat would beat the Bulls 118-92. They would win this game by 26 after they outscored the Bulls by 14 in the first quarter and by 10 in the fourth. On the losing end of this matchup, the Bulls were led in scoring by their starting shooting guard out of UCLA, Zach LaVine. LaVine finished with 33 points and 7 rebounds in 38 minutes. He shot 11 for 20 from the field, 7 for 11 from 3, and 4 for 5 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Miami Heat were led in scoring by their starting shooting guard out of Michigan, Duncan Robinson. Robinson finished with 26 points in 27 minutes. He shot 9 for 13 from the field, 5 for 9 from 3, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the foul line. Their starting center, Dwayne Dedmon, finished with 20 points and 12 rebounds in 29 minutes. He shot 8 for 13 from the field, a perfect 2 for 2 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the line. With this win, the Miami Heat are now 16-11. With this loss, the Chicago Bulls are now 17-10. Taking a look now what's going on in Memphis. The Memphis Grizzlies hosted the Houston Rockets. The Grizzlies would end up beating the Rockets 113-106. They won this matchup by 7 after they outscored the Houston Rockets by 16 points in the first half. On the losing end of this matchup, the Rockets were led in scoring by their starting center, Christian Wood. Wood finished with 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 steals in 37 minutes as he was a foul away from fouling out. Wood shot 7 for 12 from the field, and he would go on to shoot 1 for 3 from 3. On the winning end of this matchup, the Memphis Grizzlies were led in scoring by their starting small forward, Dylan Brooks. Brooks finished with 25 points in 33 minutes as he shot 7 for 17 from the field. He shot 2 for 4 from 3, and he shot 9 for 10 from the foul line. With this win, the Memphis Grizzlies are now 16-11. With this loss, the Houston Rockets are now 8-8. Taking a look now at what is going on in Philadelphia, the 76ers hosted the Golden State Warriors. The Philadelphia 76ers pulled off a home win, beating the Warriors 102-93, as they were able to win this game by 12. Or they won this game by 9 after they outscored the Warriors by 12 in the fourth quarter to overcome their deficit to win. And on the losing end of this matchup, the Golden State Warriors were led in scoring by their starting shooting guard, Jordan Poole. Poole would go on to finish with 23 points in 37 minutes as he shot 7 for 14 from the field. He shot 4 for 9 from 3 and a perfect 5 for 5 from 3. Their starting small forward, Andrew Wiggins, finished with 20 points in 37 minutes as he shot 8 for 14 from the field and 3 for 8 from 3. And the Warriors' goated starting point guard, Stephen Curry, finished with 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists in 36 minutes. He shot 6 for 20 from the field, 3 for 14 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the line as he is only 3 3-pointers away from breaking the all-time NBA record for most career 3-pointers made. On the winning end of this matchup, the Philadelphia 76ers were led in scoring by their elite starting center, Joel Embiid. Embiid finished with 26 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in 33 minutes. He would go on to shoot 7 for 16 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, and he made all 11 of his free throws. With this win, the Philadelphia 76ers are 15-12. With this loss, the Golden State Warriors are now officially 21-5. Taking a look, last but not least, at what's going on in San Antonio, the Spurs hosted the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets would end up beating the Spurs 127-112. They won this matchup by 15 after they outscored the Spurs by 15 in the second quarter and by 13 in the third by a combined 28 points in the middle 2 quarters. On the losing end of this matchup, the San Antonio Spurs were led in scoring by their shooting guard off the bench, Lonnie Walker IV. He finished with 16 points in 22 minutes. He shot 5 for 9 from the field and a perfect 5 for 5 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Denver Nuggets were led in scoring by the reigning NBA MVP, their elite starting center, Nikola Jokic. Jokic finished with 35 points, 17 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 blocks, and 5 turnovers in 34 minutes, as the Joker shot 15 for 24 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3, and he went on to make his only free throw attempt on the night. Off the bench, their guard out of Marquette, Marcus Howard, would go on to finish with 21 points in 21 minutes as he shot 7 for 15 from the field, 6 for 12 from 3, and he made one of his 2 free throw attempts on the night. With this win, the Denver Nuggets are now 13-13. With this loss, the San Antonio Spurs are now 9-16. Taking a look at what's going on overseas as we go through each domestic league. Starting off in the Premier League, Manchester City hosted and was able to pull off a 1-0 win versus Wolverhampton as their lone goal came off of a penalty kick from Raheem Sterling, who actually turned 27 just the other day. Another big matchup, Arsenal hosted Southampton and was able to pull off a 3-0 win as their goals came from Lacazette, Odegaard, and Gabriel. Chelsea Chelsea hosted Leeds United and was able to pull away with a 3-2 win as 2 of their goals would come from their Italian midfielder, Jorginho. Liverpool would go on to beat Aston Villa 1-0 as its lone goal came from its elite Egyptian striker, Mo Salah. Manchester United faced off against Norwich City at Norwich City as their lone goal came off of a 75th minute penalty from their goated Portuguese forward Cristiano Ronaldo. Taking a look at what's going on in Germany in the Bundesliga, the reigning Bundesliga champs, Bayern Munich was able to beat they were able to beat Mainz 2-1 as their goals will come from their French winger Kingsley Coman and their young German midfielder Jamal Musiala. Borussia Dortmund was able to draw with VfL Bochum as Dortmund's lone goal came from their German international midfielder Julian Brandt. Taking a look at what's going on in Serie A, Juventus went to Venezia and they were able to finish with a 1-1 draw. Juventus' only goal coming from their Spanish striker, Alvaro Morata. And that's everything that I have regarding yesterday's matchups. And with that said, I want to thank the ESPN, FIFA, NCAA, NBA, and NFL websites for giving me all the facts and figures that I needed for this episode. I do apologize for butchering a lot of the names. I do plan on eventually getting them right. And I do once again want to thank everyone for listening to all 24 minutes of this piece. Once all of today's episodes and matchups are done, I'm going to come back tomorrow on Monday, December 13th for another episode of The Elite. So once again, thanks for following around with me through the world of sports one day at a time. And once everything is done today, I will come back with another piece tomorrow. So thanks for listening to my piece today, and I'll catch you with more tomorrow, of course. Peace out.